Hey, what's up, superhero fans? Get ready to dive into the crazy multiverse of Mark Grayson, aka Invincible. We're about to unravel the mind-bending journey of every alternate version of our favorite Viltrumite, from timelines gone haywire to parallel dimensions. These marks are all over the place, and it's about time we break down their unique stories. You won't believe the twists and turns these alternate marks have taken. We're talking about differences that go way beyond just costume changes. Think offbeat timelines, changed allegiances, and mind-blowing character arcs. Strap in as we explore the possible wild variations in their powers, because not all marks are created equal. So if you're ready to wrap your head around the multiverse madness and see just how different or similar these Invincibles can be, hit that play button and let's get into it. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is Mark Grayson? Alright, check this out, folks. Picture this. Mark Grayson, seemingly just your average dude, right? But then, bam! His dad, Nolan, drops the bomb that he's basically an alien superhero, Omni-Man, here to save Earth. Now that's a crazy family secret. So little Mark spends his childhood waiting for some superhero genes to kick in. Every kid's dream, right? Fast forward to high school, senior year. Mark's slinging burgers at his part-time gig when, boom! His superpowers decide to show up fashionably late. Finally! Now imagine your dad whips up a superhero suit for you, but you have to pick a name. Decisions. After busting out some superhero moves and saving a mate from bullies, his principal throws in the classic warning, telling him that he's not invincible. So say hello to Invincible, the not-so-average superhero with powers, a cool costume, and a name that just stuck. Life's wild for a high school superhero, huh? Alternate Mark 1. Let us hit you with some crazy Invincible universe drama. So, Alternate Mark 1 is like the #1 Rexplode expert in his dimension. He knows all the ins and outs of his powers and gear. And guess what? The Invincible War rolls around and this Mark goes all rogue. On day 2 of the chaos, he goes on a superhero rampage, messing up Bulletproof and wrecking Monster Girl. Like he seriously messed her up, threatened to kill her and everything. But hold up, the plot twist is coming. Rexplode steps up superhero style and faces off against this rogue Mark. And let us tell you, it's a showdown for the ages. In the end, Rex goes all out, sacrifices himself, and turns his skeleton into a freaking suicide bomb. Boom! He takes down the villain and saves the day. It's a comic book soap opera, but with explosions and superhero gut. Alternate Mark 2. Here's another wild chapter in the Invincible Universe saga. So, picture this. Alternate Mark 2 goes head-to-head with a whole squad of heroes on day 2 of the chaos. Super Patriot, Angelica Murphy, Kerr Dragon, and Mighty Man 2. It's like the Avengers, but Invincible style. This Mark isn't messing around either. He knocks down Mighty Man and Super Patriot like they're bowling pins. Savage Dragon tries to pull a brave move, but Alternate Mark 2 isn't having it. Choke slam and a shove. The dude's playing rough. But here's the kicker. Savage Dragon goes all out and takes down our Alternate Mark 2. Game over, right? Nope. Hold on to your capes because D.A. Sinclair, the mad scientist of the universe, decides to play Frankenstein and turns him into one of his Reanimen. Talk about a plot twist. It's like a superhero horror show, and we're just here for the drama and popcorn. Alternate Mark 3. Hold on to your capes, folks, because Alternate Mark 3 is one twisted superhero. He's not your average good guy. Nope. He straight up murdered the Adam Eve in his dimension, real quick and all brutal. But then he gets to our main universe, sees our Adam Eve, and decides to play the slow and painful game. Creepy, right? On the first day of chaos, he's in Adam Eve's face, telling her he's going to make her demise a real slow burn. But she's not having any of that. She pulls a Houdini and bolts. Smart move, Adam Eve. Smart move. Next up, he takes on Jackie Estacado, the darkness himself. We're talking about a clash of the anti-heroes here. But here's where it gets even crazier. By the third day, Alternate Mark 3's wreaking havoc in Paris. Like, come on, dude. At least leave the city of love alone. But guess what? Karma's a you-know-what. Alternate Mark 3 ends up stranded in an alternate dimension with 7 other alive alternate Marks. And you won't believe how he bites the dust. He was eaten alive by his alternate buddies. Talk about a gruesome end to a seriously messed up superhero. Unfortunately for him, even the bad guys get a taste of their own medicine, or should we say, a taste of each other? Yikes! Alternate Mark 4. Buckle up for this messed up roller coaster ride with Alternate Mark 4. So get this, the dude straight up offed his own mom in his dimension. Like, talk about messed up family drama. And guess what? He had plans to do the same to his dad, but Omni-Man wasn't having any of it. Omni-Man went all wrecking ball on the family home, demolishing it like it's superhero wrecking day. Now fast forward to the Invincible War. This Mark's in the ring with Oliver Grayson, ready to fight it out. Oliver's all confident, thinking he can take the bad guy. But nope. Alternate Mark 4 drops some truth bombs and tells Oliver he's got to earn that Omni-Man symbol on his chest. It's like a superhero initiation, but with way more punches. After schooling Oliver, this alternate Mark goes full-on destruction mode, wiping out Sydney by the 3rd day. Talk about going big, right? But here's the twist. He meets up with 7 other surviving alternate Marks above his childhood home. The dude's actually happy to see the old place. Weird, right? But of course, Karma can't let him have a happy reunion. Engstrom Levy swoops in, stranding them all in an alternate dimension. Alternate Mark 5. Let's talk about Alternate Mark 5, the dude with the Viltrumite vibes and that iconic mustache. Who knew interdimensional superhero doppelgangers could rock facial hair like that, right? He's strutting around in a striking white uniform, making him stand out from the Alternate Mark crowd. But hold up, the plot thickens. This guy bites the dust on the 2nd day of all the superhero chaos that's going down. And get this, it's a female superhero who takes him out. Talk about a plot twist. There is no heroic last stand, just a straight-up superhero showdown and lights out for Alternate Mark 5. But his story doesn't end there. Nope, he gets a post-mortem gig as one of D.A. Sinclair's Reanimen. So, from Viltrumite mustache glory to undead minion, that's the roller coaster life of Alternate Mark 5. Life's wild, dear friends. Alternate Mark 6. Check this out. Alternate Mark 6 is in for a wild ride on day 2. He's throwing down with the Cyberforce, who he apparently knows like old pals. But they've disbanded in his dimension. Talk about awkward family reunions, right? Then things get even crazier. Mainstream Mark and Adam Eve show up fashionably late to the superhero brawl. Alternate Mark 6 isn't holding back. He goes all out, messing up Adam Eve big time. Like, we're talking critical injuries here. But hold up, the tables turn. Mainstream Mark isn't having it. He steps up to the plate and bam! Takes out Alternate Mark 6. Our main man Mark is left bloody but not broken. It's like a superhero soap opera, complete with family drama and epic battles. Wild, huh? Alternate Mark 7. Hold on to your capes, folks, because Alternate Mark 7 is one twisted superhero. So get this, he goes all Oedipus complex on his dad and straight up takes him out in his dimension. Then, to add some flair, he throws on an Omni-Man-inspired suit. Talk about daddy issues with style. On day 2 of the superhero mayhem, this Mark goes toe-to-toe with Shadowhawk and Madman. We're talking about a showdown that's like the ultimate superhero face-off. But here's the kicker. Madman pulls a move that no one saw coming. He strangles Alternate Mark 7 with a freaking yo-yo. Yeah, you heard it right. A yo-yo takedown. And guess what happens next? Alternate Mark 7 doesn't get a hero's rest. Oh no, he gets a post-mortem gig as one of D.A. Sinclair's Reanimen. From daddy issues and superhero fashion to getting yo-yoed to zombie life. That's the crazy ride of Alternate Mark 7. Talk about a plot twist. Alternate Mark 8. Buckle up for the bizarre saga of Alternate Mark 8, the guy rocking the Viltrum Empire fit. This dude goes full-on dark side, offing Spawn in his dimension like it's just another Tuesday. Fast forward to the 1st day of superhero chaos in the mainstream dimension, and he's throwing down with Spawn again in the streets of New York City. Alternate Mark 8 isn't just satisfied with one Spawn takedown. Oh no, he straight up threatens to do it all over again. Talk about holding a grudge. By the 3rd day, this Mark decides to go Godzilla in a major city. He's just wrecking everything in his path. But hold up, the plot takes a hard left turn. Stranded in an alternate dimension with the other surviving alternate Marks, they start talking about what turned them evil. Classic villain therapy, right? Weeks pass, and guess what? They realize one of them is just a total jerk. Starving and desperate, they resort to the unthinkable, cannibalism. Yep, they start eating each other. In the end, only alternate Mark 8 and one other remain. Then the ultimate betrayal. The last one turns on him. Alternate Mark 8 gets the short end of the stick, becoming the main course in this messed up superhero dinner. Talk about a wild ride. Alternate Mark 9. Let's talk about Alternate Mark 9, the guy with the costume that's in the reject pile from our world's Mark. Picture this. It's the suit that Bulletproof eventually rocks in the main universe, the one Invincible turned down back in the day. You know, that outfit Art Rosenbaum tried to force on Mark before he went all out in the iconic blue and yellow? This alternate Mark is fashionably late to the superhero brawl and doesn't show up until day 2. When he finally rolls in, he's on a mission straight to the Pentagon. Like dude's got a GPS set for government secrets or something. But here's where it takes a dark turn. He makes it to the White Room, only to get a not-so-warm welcome from the militarized Reanimin. They go all murderous clone on him, and bam! Strangled and killed. Brutal, right? Surprisingly though, he dodges the Reanimin gig because his body's too messed up. Honestly speaking, it's like a silver lining in a seriously messed up situation. It's like a bad horror movie with the craziest twists and turns. Fashion and fatalities all in one. Wild! Alternate Mark 10. Alright, let us hit you with the scoop on Alternate Mark 10. It's day 2 of the superhero showdown, and this dude's throwing down with Sarah Bazzini. She's the Witchblade herself. Talk about a heavyweight matchup. So they go at it, trading blows like it's a no-holes-barred street fight. It gets intense. Alternate Mark 10 manages to mess up Sarah pretty badly. But plot twist, she's not one to take a beating lying down. In the end, she gives him the final blow and takes him out like it's just another day at the office for her. But let's not forget the price Sarah pays. She's not walking away without some battle scars. Alternate Mark 10 may be down for the count, but he leaves his mark, literally. It's superhero drama at its finest, and we're just here for the action-packed chaos. Wild stuff! Alternate Mark 11. Get a load of Alternate Mark 11, the guy with the veiny head straight out of the Star Wars Burn Victim playbook. This guy's basically a walking homage to Anakin Skywalker's post-lava barbecued look in Revenge of the Sith. Talk about wearing your fandom on your face. Now, here's where it gets wild. In his own dimension, he pulls a Viltrumite stint in the prison for almost a year. It must have been a pretty rowdy dimension if they've got Viltrumite prisons, right? Fast forward to day 1 of the Invincible War, and this guy's on a vengeance mission. He zooms into the Kremlin, swearing revenge on his old man. Talk about family drama playing out on the global stage. By day 3, Moscow's in for a rude awakening. Alternate Mark 11's tearing it up, and his costume's seen better days. Probably a souvenir from the beatdown tour he's been on. But just when you think the drama's peaked, the dude gets stranded in an alternate dimension with the remaining 7 alternate marks. It's like a villain family reunion in a cosmic waiting room. This is a superhero soap opera at its finest. Alternate Mark 12. Check this out. Alternate Mark 12 is on a rampage, and the poor Guardians of the Globe are catching the worst of it. It's day 2 of the superhero showdown, and it's like they're facing the evil twin from another dimension. This guy makes quick work of the Guardians. They're not as tough as the ones in his own dimension, so it's basically a one-sided beatdown. Black Samson, Shapesmith, and Darkwing 2 all get their fair share of battle scars. Ouch! But wait, it gets even more brutal. He goes after duplicates, like a twisted game of superhero whack-a-mole. And just when you think it can't get any worse, he decapitates the immortal and pulls a gruesome head toss into one of Duplicate's bodies. Talk about a horror movie level move. Then Darkwing steps up to the plate. He sacrifices himself to drag Alternate Mark 12 into the Shadowverse, all in a heroic attempt to save the team. But guess what? The bad guy's not going down without a fight. He brutally kills Darkwing in the Shadowverse, trapping himself and sealing his own doom. It's like a roller coaster of superhero chaos and tragic endings. Crazy, isn't it? Alternate Mark 13. So, Alternate Mark 13 is the guy with the flaxen fashion sense. Talk about rockin' a different style, right? Day 1 of the Invincible War, and this dude's got a thing for government buildings. He straight up attacks the Pentagon like it's his own personal punching bag. But guess what? Britt and Donald Ferguson aren't having any of it. They tag team this flaxen-dressed troublemaker and take him out. Teamwork at its finest. But here's the kicker. He doesn't get the Reanimin boot. Nope, his body's too messed up for that makeover. We guess even in the superhero world, there are some oops moments that can't be fixed. What a mess. Alternate Mark 14, aka Mohawk Mark. Hold up for Mohawk Mark's crazy ride in the Invincible universe. So, this dude, rocking a mohawk like it's the 80s, gets entangled in this twisted love triangle drama with Adam Eve and Rex. Classic superhero drama, right? But here's where it takes a dark turn. Mohawk Mark isn't your run-of-the-mill hero. Nope, he's got this messed up realization that Earth is not just worth the superhero hustle. He thinks he's above it all and wants to be worshipped. Talk about an ego trip. So, what does he do? Straight up murders Rex, then goes on a rampage, taking out Adam Eve, Kate, and what he thinks is Robot. The dude's on a mission to mess things up big time. But wait, there's more. Mohawk Mark somehow ascends to the throne, becoming the emperor of the Viltrumites after offing Omni-Man, Theodos, and Thula. Talk about a power trip. Here's where it gets nuts. Mainstream Robot steps up to the plate. He fires a bomb right into Mohawk Mark's mouth, and boom! His insides get the worst end of the explosion, and eyeballs pop out, internal organs burst. It's like a gruesome fireworks show in his throat. And just like that, Mohawk Mark bites the dust. It's like a Shakespearean tragedy mixed with a horror flick. Superhero style. Total insanity. Alternate Mark 15. Alright, check it out. Alternate Mark 15 gets a rude awakening on day 1 of the Invincible Showdown. He decides to throw down with Tech Jacket, who's apparently the surprise guest star not present in his own dimension. Now, here's the kicker. Tech Jacket catches him off guard with some serious power moves. Like, you didn't see that coming, did you, Mark? And just like that, Alternate Mark 15 gets knocked out of the superhero game, courtesy of Tech Jacket. Talk about a debut beatdown. It's like he's in a superhero roulette, and some days you just land on the wrong hero. Wild stuff. Alternate Mark 16, aka Sinister Mark. So, someone offed Sinister Mark's mom in his own house back in his dimension, and that was pretty much the starting point of his evil turn. Fast forward to Sinister Mark ruling his own empire in a dimension where everyone's cranked up on the evil scale. He's got a taste for human flesh, loves a good bout of cannibalism, and is on a quest to torture his enemies. Then Engstrom Levy shows up with his grand plan, the Invincible War. Sinister Mark's all in. He wants to take his evil empire to other dimensions. So he storms into the mainstream dimension and goes on a city-wrecking spree. By day 3, he's chillin' with the other surviving alternate Marks above his childhood home in the mainstream dimension. But Engstrom, being the party pooper he is, banishes the whole gang to an alternate dimension without food or water. Sinister Mark loses it, goes full-blown insane, and starts munching on the alternate Marks. Enter mainstream Mark, who gets thrown into the alternate dimension mix. Sinister Mark starts monologuing about how survival made him the ultimate badass, but then Mohawk Mark swoops in. Mohawk Mark and Mainstream Mark make a run for it, but Sinister Mark's not one to stay down. In the end, Mohawk Mark goes all Hulk and beats Sinister Mark to death. Alternate Mark 17. Alright, buckle up for the saga of Alternate Mark 17. Just another guy running his evil empire in the Invincible universe. So on day 1 of the Invincible War, this dude decides to paint the town red and heads to London. He probably felt like sightseeing before causing chaos, you know. Fast forward to day 3, and London's basically a war zone thanks to Alternate 17 going all Godzilla on the city. Talk about a villainous vacation, right? But here's where it takes a dark twist. Engstrom Levy, the Cosmic Puppet Master, decides to play his cards. Strands all 8 of the remaining alternate Marks in another dimension. Now, stranded and bored, they start chatting about what turned them into the evil bunch they are. And then comes the gruesome part. Alternate Mark 8 and Sinister Mark decide to have a little alternate Mark barbecue, with 17 as the main course. They chow down on him like it's a villainous potluck. Gross, right? Later on, when the mainstream Mark gets stranded in the same dimension, he finds the leftovers. Part of 17's costume still hanging on his skeleton. Talk about a souvenir from a messed up dinner party. It's like a horror movie crossed with a cosmic sitcom. Wild stuff. Alternate Mark 18. Alright, so picture this. Alternate Mark 18 is the guy who's basically Mark 10's doppelganger. He rolls into the superhero showdown on day 2. Bit fashionably late, isn't he? Now, here comes the action. He decides to throw down with Pitt, and it's like a heavyweight brawl in the air. But here's where it gets brutal. Pitt straight up jams his thumbs into 18's eyes and head, like really mutilating the insides. Ouch! So there you have it. The Invincible War for Alternate Mark 18 is basically a lesson in why you shouldn't mess with someone as beefy as Pitt, because even the alternates can't escape a brutal beatdown. Wild stuff, right? Alternate Mark 19. All right, here comes alternate Mark 19, the twin of Mark 2, and he decides to make a grand entrance fashionably late on day 2 or 3. And what's his idea of a warm welcome? Oh, just laying waste to Tokyo by day 3. Talk about a not-so-touristy visit. But hold on to your capes because the plot thickens. After wreaking havoc, he and the gang get stranded in some alternate dimension, and we already know how they decide to chow down on each other. Yep, you heard that right, a twisted superhero cannibal picnic. What happens in the alternate dimension stays in the alternate dimension. Thank God for that. It's like a bizarre family reunion meets a horror movie, with the side of destruction. A wild ride, huh? Alternate Mark 20. Okay, so picture this. Alternate Mark 20 decides to team up with Daddy Dearest and rule Earth under the Viltrumite Empire. Classic father-son bonding, right? Now here's where it gets wild. The superhero roster there takes a major hit, with only Robot, the Immortal, and their dimension's Angstrom Levy surviving the initial onslaught. Talk about a bleak situation for Earth's defenders. Fast forward, and Invincible's trying to sell this whole story about how whatever he's doing is for the best in Times Square. Probably thinking he's doing a public service announcement. But of course he's not sparing any mercy for those who resist. It's like a criminal press conference, and he's the main speaker. Just when you think it can't get crazier, Invincible is about to off his dimension's Angstrom, and bam! Mainstream Angstrom Levy swoops in for the save, snatching him away to the mainstream dimension. Invincible's left there scratching his head, probably wondering if he missed the superhero memo. Clearly, even the bad guys get caught off guard sometimes. Pretty wild, isn't it? Alternate Mark 21. Guess what? So alternate Mark 21 had a pretty rough time in his own dimension. The Mahler twins spilled the tea that he bit the dust. Yeah, talk about a superhero downer, right? We know. It's like getting the worst news ever, courtesy of the Mahler twins. Life's a real roller coaster when you're an Invincible, huh? Alternate Mark 22. Alright, so here's the lowdown. Mark somehow survives a whopping 15 years in this not-so-friendly alternate dimension after taking down Angstrom Levy. Talk about resilience, right? Now here's where it gets heavy. Alternate Mark 22 kicks the bucket before his Adam Eve gets the chance to spill the beans about her feelings. It's a total bummer, and to make it worse, Adam Eve ages without having the opportunity to tell her Mark that she's head over heels for him. Cue the heartbreak. Adam Eve was left devastated and in a really bad place for a while. To be fair, who wouldn't be? Losing your superhero love without ever getting to say those 3 magic words? It's like a tragic love story with a cosmic twist. Life's a challenging ride, and love stories in superhero realms are no exception. Pretty sad, huh? Alternate Mark 23. Now, buckle up for Alternate Mark 23's wild ride. So picture this. The guy goes full-on evil mode after losing Adam Eve, who was carrying their unborn kid at the time. Talk about a 2-punch to the gut. When she bites the dust, taking their unborn child with her, Mark loses it. What we mean to say is, he snaps big time and turns into this seriously dark and twisted version of himself. It's like the ultimate superhero tragedy, right? Clearly, love and loss can turn a superhero into a villain in the blink of an eye. It's like a Shakespearean drama with capes and superpowers. Life's a roller coaster, and in this case, it's a ride straight into the dark side. Marvelous verdict. And there you have it, folks. The roller coaster of alternate marks from the Invincible universe. We've got evil versions, twisted timelines, and enough drama to make a soap opera tremble. From Mohawk Mark's ego trip to Sinister Mark's cannibal cravings. These alternate marks are like a dysfunctional superhero family. We've seen them lay waste to cities, run empires, and even have some seriously messed up love stories. But hey, that's the Invincible universe for you, where even the alternates can't catch a break. It's a wild ride through dimensions, from tragic deaths to unexpected twists. So, which alternate mark story hit you in the feels or left you scratching your head? Do let us know, and don't forget to stay tuned for more cosmic craziness from the Invincible universe. Until next time, folks, stay super!